Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu asyrafil anbiya wal mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So we had finished up to slide 12 and we shall continue. But before I go any further, what we are learning now, more of knowing the subtle self as what Allah wants us to know. So what we are discussing so far is about the subtle self itself. But after this, I'm going to the work of the subtle self, which to date we may know between 35 to 50%. The other 50% we have not touched it on. So inshallah, in the lectures to come, we'll go into that area to know the other balance of his work, the subtle self, that we have so far have not touched yet. And it will be a surprise to many once you learn of his handiwork in this world, inshallah. Just to give you a little bit elaboration, and I hope this you keep in mind and ponder over it, because when the lecture comes, it will be much clearer to you. Now, let's take a father. He has 6 children. Okay? 5 children, he gave all his wealth equally to them. They live very happy and so on. And even present them with his portrait. So every household of the 6 sons, or the 5 sons, have his portrait. They're all children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren know him. Now one son, he placed his son in an island with left him there with his children and wife. For that son to survive on this island where there are only coconuts, trees, and they have this tapioca, river water, and nothing much. Small island, leave them there. They didn't even give a portrait of his picture to the grandchildren, to the son and his grandchildren. And therefore, the grandchildren and the great-great-great-grandchildren will never know about their rich and wealthy grandfather. So this one son on the island have to live very difficult life. Survive on tapioca, survive on whatever vegetable found there, river water, no amenities. They have to build up their own home from woods, bamboos, whatnot. They build out their home. No tap water, no electricity, no phone, nothing at all. But the 5 sons were staying on the mainland, rich, prosperous, children, all happy. Right? Now, you as an outsider, you look at these 2 scenarios. One, 5 children of this wealthy man lived happily with all the luxuries. And there's one living on an island, surviving, barely surviving, eating what food they found at tapioca, fish, and drinking river water. As an outsider, you, me, as an outsider, you look at these two scenarios. Who you sympathy with? Who you sympathy with? These 5 children who live in luxury, or this one family him live in a very hard life situation, surviving day to day, no amenities, modern amenities, nothing. Now you as outsider, who sympathize with? Now, using that analogy, right, apply to the mankind today, where the believers are guided to faith by Allah, because He say, I inspired people, mankind, to be good, to perform good deeds. I inspired them to do the bad. All right. Now use that in analogy to what I given you the situation. Who you sympathize with? The rich, filthy rich, live in prosperity, or the poor, living a mega life, subsisting day to day. Who you sympathize with? There are two scenarios. Now apply that scenario to our civilization now. And then you can see the other 50% of the work of the subtle self. And do you believe strongly that the one that lived didn't get any support from the father, then from the father, had to live a tough life, and the grandchildren and children and their children and grandchildren will never know their grandfather. Who you sympathize? Now, we will cover that in the next lecture to come. And there are other aspects too, which I'll cover, inshallah. For today and before this, we learn about the subtle self. But when this over, we see how he runs the world, or the Lord Mahfuz. And we will use the analogy I've given to you to show the other 50% of his handiwork in this world. And to which side of his handiwork your sympathy be. And that is a very interesting stand you have to choose, and it entails a lot of self-discovering in yourself, change of your attitude, change of your observation, conclusion, and whatnot. So that for the gist of the continuing lectures after knowing the subtle self. Okay, so we continue with our lecture now. Now slide 13, knowing the subtle self in great depth. Okay, after the subtle self being known and its handiwork, later on we migrate to the greater self, but for time being still the subtle self. Indeed, Allah is the one who causes seeds and fruits to sprout. He brings forth the living from the dead and the dead from the living. This one, if you use people with the side of sifat, the attributes. If you look, you don't use the hakikat side or the marifat side. You use the sifat side, looking through the sifat. Now, you will say, yeah, of course, Allah caused the seed and fruit to come up from the ground. Allah raised the dead. Allah also caused people to die. It's a simple layman observation. Okay? And if you look into the hakikat view or sight, you will say, oh, this all stem from the essence that brought this up. But we had learned that the essence or the attributes are just manifestation, have no power, powerless. So we have the understanding that the one that caused to grow seed and fruit, to sprout, to raise people from the dead, and to cause people to die when they are alive, is the subtle self. It is the subtle self. And that explains why Allah said that living in this world is amusement and play. You must understand it. So from our observation is different from ordinary people observation. They will say, oh, of course. They can also say the farmers or the planters who cause the fruits and the seed to grow. Right? Like in the Quran was given the example of these farmers who say, tomorrow we shall till and harvest our products, our ground products, without even saying inshallah. And before that morning, that particular night, Allah sent the grasshopper and they wipe out his products. Or even we see this Karun. I got all this wealth through my planning, my intelligence, my skill, and Allah buried him with his treasure into us. And that's we found something from the ground, say Harta Karun. Okay. But that is what the people who only see through the sifat, the attributes, that's the only scenario that they can see, not further than that. But we go further than that to the side of Ma'rifat. You realize that Karun had to say those words. And Karun had to be buried with his treasure into the earth. Okay. There is no two ways about it, as Prophet Adam said. The thing has been written in the Law Mahfuz 40 years before I was alive. And when I'm alive, I just complied with the provision of the Law Mahfuz, and that is or that was to eat the forbidden food. So don't blame me. Okay? So for us to have this knowledge, we say yes, what Adam alayhi salam said, correct. For those who see the attribute, with the attribute, the sifat, they think literally what Adam said was correct. But for us, no. Adam must speak those words because it's written in the law mahfuz. The next question is right. And again, with our knowledge, we know it's not Adam speaking. And we know the event will go on, would go on, because Adam and Eve had to be sent to the earth, which was already created and waiting for them. So if they don't eat, if they didn't eat the forbidden fruit, they would not be sent out of the garden of heaven, and earth will be barren. So it's already in the pipeline. We must do it. And who did that? It's not Adam. If you see the attribute, it's Adam. You go further, you see the essence. But we annihilated the attributes and the essence. These are manifestation, powerless. Then we see clearly it's all the game of the subtle self. That's why amusement and play that they have to do it. So you see the difference between your sight as a person who have reached the sight of a ma'rifah and those who have not. Their understanding and their explanation are not on all four with us. Totally different. Where they see the attribute of the sifat in action, we see the sifat just as manifestation, powerless. And the one where they manifested from is the subtle self. And the powerhouse, the prime mover, is the subtle self. So that's why Allah said, everything perish, that left is my containment. That is his subtle self, right? Which encompasses all. So we see that everything perish, that remain is subtle self. That is his containment. Okay? We are clear about. So we are on two different settings. Two different settings. And our eyesight, spiritual sight, and our understanding granted to us for having this knowledge are totally different from these people who only saw the attributes and the work of the attributes. We saw the subtle self and the work of the subtle self, whereas the attributes and the essence are just a powerless manifestation. Okay? So here again, I'm trying to explain in depth so that you know about the subtle self before we will see the work of the subtle self as I've given in analogy at the beginning of this lecture when we come to that stage. So now only learning about the subtle self. Okay? Next we see And his sign is that the sky and the earth stand firm by his command. And this, many of the scholars, Islamic scholars, who don't have the ma'rifah, they marvel. See how great Allah is. How great. You see the sky standing without pillars and it did not collapse. See the sky. See the earth floating in a vacuum, but yet rotating according to its orbit. Never differ, otherwise it clash with other planets encircling us, or even will collide with the moon and the sun. But it remains steadfast in its orbit. Okay? That we have day and night. So you can see, as from the people who don't have this ma'rifat side, they marvel, how great Allah is. Can you see any pillar that hold the sky? Can you see anything that hold the earth from falling down? Before they created the story, and many say hadith, that the earth was on the tip of the bull horn, on a bull horn. But after the astronaut went out, they can't find the bull. So all bullshit. But this is the thing, they marvel. But we don't marvel at that. We know that the sky is like that, the earth is like that, because it is a subtle manifestation of the subtle self. The subtle self created the manifestation and caused the manifestation to act according to his wishes. So, it created a manifestation of the sky and earth. And these are connected to the subtle self. So what the subtle self wants the earth and the sky to do, it will perform, submit, subservient to the subtle self. It's like my hand. If I want it to bend, yes, put up again, yes. Bend again, it's my hand. I control it. Okay. I mean, talking as a layman, I control my hand. Similarly, this analogy, similarly, whatever you see before you are nothing more than the manifestation of the subtle self. Totally powerless. They can only be in action whatsoever if the subtle self want to act in that manner. Okay? So that's why we don't marvel the sky and the earth stand firm without any pillars. We don't marvel. We know what is going on behind the scene. Okay? It's like a Pak Dalang, the wayang kulit. You can see on the screen picture of the sky moving and not falling, as can be seen on the white screen. Why the cloud was not falling and the sky was not falling? Because Pak Dalang holding it with a stick and move it, Okay, we understood the mechanism. So we are not blind. They was asked Allah, why are we resurrected blind when we could see when we were in the world before? And Allah will say in the Quran, it was stated, my signs are everywhere on the earth, but you fail to see them. So today you are resurrected blind. And this is just an example so that they may learn. But for us, there's nothing big deal about it. And worse, we realize that all these big things, the skies stand firm, the earth stand firm without collapsing, no support, nothing, all these things great. To us, this and everything else, including space and time, put together is lesser than a particle of sand or atom. To his greatness, our greatness. So what big deal? A small, lesser than a particle of sand or atom. All this, you see, you marvel all these things. The sky stand on its own, earth did not fall down, whatever. No big deal to Allah. It's all put together, not bigger than an atom, lesser than it also, not lesser than a grain of sand. So, with that understanding, we also know to Allah belong the forces of the heaven and the earth. So, you see, you look at the word forces. You see the Israeli army supposedly to be a great force. You see America supposed to be a great force. You see China, Russia, all this great force. But that is the outlook of a person without marifah. A person who has marifah and understood the work of the subtle self will know instantly, he knew, how can China have power? How can Russia have power? How can America have power? How can the Israeli got power? They are manifestation. They are just manifestation. There's only one power throughout heaven and earth. Only one power. And that power belongs to the subtle self. Belongs to the subtle self. All the things that low mahfuz, all the power belong to the subtle self. Because everything else are manifestation. Okay. And his power is infinity. Esa, infinity. There is no other existence or God to share this. There's only one existence, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the power belongs to him absolutely and infinity. He shared with no one. Okay? So to think that we share his power, that is ridiculous. We are just powerless manifestation. So if you look around you, they are plenty full of power. The tree have power, they can grow up straight. The sun have power, the light comes to us. The motor vehicle, the transportation have power, they can move. Mankind and animal and whatnot, they can move, they have power. So if you can't see with the marifah eyes and knowing the work of the subtle self, you will see that the powers are with the objects or the creations that your eyes fall on them. So you see animal, the power is animal. You see the crane, the power is the crane. You see the vehicle, power is the vehicle. Huh? To us, no. To us, the power belongs to one, and that is him, the subtle self. We talk about the power within the low mahfuz. Belong to the subtle self. No big deal about it. All these manifestations, they don't have power. The power belongs to the subtle self, and the subtle self is using it, using his own power, making the manifestation. appeared like real, but instead, no. The power 100% belong to the subtle self. Okay? So you see the difference from what we see and what they see. Okay? And that's why Allah says, is it the same people who knows and people who don't know? Is it the same people who's brought to light and a person in darkness? Not the same. That is why in the Quran say, ask if you don't know from the person who knows. Okay? So, my dear companion, I hope we are over with the blindness. I hope we can see reality and facts very clearly. Okay? And therefore, we know all forces in the heaven and earth belong to the subtle self. All the sky can stand on its own, or the earth can float on the orbit without any support. We know the answer. Okay? That these are manifestations come from the subtle self, and therefore what the subtle self wants the manifestation to appear, and that will be done. That's why Allah said, if I want to do something, I would just say, kun, be, and it's be. Okay? That's the way. So please have your knowledge come handy in your daily life, the knowledge of the Marifah and the work of the subtle self. And you will be like Adam, and you will not be misled. Adam had said correctly, this has already been written 40 years before I was created. And when I created, I have no choice but to follow it. Same like us. But that is Adam's explanation. We accept the explanation, only we add that Adam also did not exist. The fruit also did not exist. These are all manifestations, and that's why it is amusement and play. Right? That's why Rasulullah saw a picture of heaven, of paradise, and hell. Picture. We can be a movie picture, but from our knowledge, we are all manifestation. Movie or what, these are just acknowledged. We are just manifestation. Not only manifestation, totally, absolutely powerless. Okay? Just like a mirage, Fata Morgana mirage, nothing. And we see the other one. To him belong the keys of the heaven and earth. How? It is difficult for ordinary person to explain what the keys. Key to the door, key to the bank, key to my piggy bank, key to my car, key to my house. No, the other. But keys to us different. You know, I had the permission or the mandate to teach this knowledge to all of you because of the key given to me by Rasulullah. And that was at the beginning, only Allah exists, nothing was with him. That was the key. And I brought thousands of you into through that. So that's the key to know Allah, key to knowledge of God or ketuhanan. The key. But there are many other keys. We're not talking about dog key or even monkey or donkey, There's keys to know Allah, knowledge. Keys to medicine. Keys to power. Keys to respect. Be respectful, honored. Okay. Keys to your sustenance. Keys to your health. Keys to a nice voice. You can sing beautifully. Keys. You get that key, you can sing. You have that key, you can sing beautifully. Keys to the knowledge. That's why some people are intelligent and so on, because was given that key. Whether they want to admit it or not, the keys do not belong to them that make them intelligent or genius, belong to Allah. So all this will inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un will go back to Allah. From Him and go back to, so we become famous. The key is with it. So we have to return that. We become honored everywhere we go. The honor comes from Him. No, you got the key, whether consciously or not, you got it, but you have to return to Him, but belong to Him. Everything belongs to Allah, had He said. Everything in heaven and on earth belong to me absolutely, and He did not share ownership with anyone. So the key that we are looking here, not the window, the door, the window, whatever. No, we are looking at the keys of knowledge, keys of health. If we have all this, we can cure sickness, all kind of sickness. We have a key to health. You have a key to longevity, like Khidir. He can live a very long period of time because he got that longevity keys. If you have keys of power, you like Asif, who flew the Queen of Sheba throne to the castle of Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. There are many keys. That's why some people beautiful voice when they sing, because they got the key. Allah given them, but it will be returned back. That's why you will leave everything behind when you cross over to the Alam Barzakh. Everything I've given to you, you leave it behind. Homemade, wealth, children, knowledge, whatever. You will left, you will leave them behind. So we are looking to all these keys. I got one key, and that I think of all the keys, that's the best key, the knowledge of God, bringing people to know God. And that was the opinion of Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani. He said, the best of all these keys is the key of bringing people to know God. And therefore he said, those people who have these keys, those people, their level is just like deputy prophet. And therefore he said, this key is the highest of all keys. So these keys are the keys given to all the prophet, 124,000, to bring their ummah to faith. That's the key. Okay? And also, the key to all treasures of the heaven and earth also belong to him. Yeah, in the Quran, it says, go up You can penetrate the sky. Wow. Because there are a lot of sustenance up there. No? A lot of wealth up there. That in the future, when we conquer the outer space, we have so much wealth that zakat will be abrogated. Because you come, people for zakat, they say, hey, you see that warehouse full of gold, take all. Too rich. So the treasure also belong to him, not belong to his Karun. No. Okay. All belong to Allah. He shares with nobody the ownership of all. So if you become rich, it's not because you're good luck. It's not because you're clever. It's not because the product that you giving is demanded by all over the world. Not because of that. You become rich because Allah wants you to be rich. So He give you the keys. So you dig up your land, oil come out. Okay? You dig up your earth and you find uranium. Wow, you become rich. Okay? Nothing that you come from you originally. Everything you dug up or you found, the things are there. You didn't build that, you didn't. The knowledge that made you rich was there. When the time comes, it comes to you and you become rich. So all the treasures belong. And again, I stress that you see the outlook of the people who know God different, and therefore their understanding of the Quran different. Right? To ordinary people, what the key? What is the key? Is this like a key with a lock? No. They cannot envisage what the keys meant. I took you through the door. At the beginning, Allah exists, nothing was received. And that is the key. The whole door, the whole opening, the whole understanding, that is the key. Suddenly you become genius. You could understand all the things that you read. You become genius because the key was given to you. Something that you read trigger your mind. It opened up to a vast understanding of the knowledge before you. Okay? That is the key. Right? You see, Lot was given the key. He suffered terrible ill health, diseases. But Allah gave him the key, everything cleared up. No medicine required, nothing. Totally all right. See, even you see Jacob become blind because he lost Joseph. And when Allah gave him the key, his eye could see. And they say, oh, because he smelled the cloth or the shirt or the cloth of Joseph, that brought him his sight back. Hey, come on, that is a explanation of ordinary person. How can an ordinary cloth can make you see again? Otherwise, you don't need hospital. Just take a cloth and strand it, and you can see it. No, it's the work of the subtle self, which follows suit what had been stipulated in the law mahfuz. That is, smell the cloth of Joseph, his sight will be returned. So he got the keys that bring back his eyesight. These are all the keys. And definitely all treasures belong to Allah. And therefore, you may build a castle, beautiful castle, great castle, wow, maybe also far excellent throughout the world. So beautiful, so majestic, and then you die. You left behind all this. And then your children die. You left behind this beautiful castle. And then your great children die. And suddenly the castle become desolated, empty. And people say, oh, he's now haunted. Nobody wants to come here. Okay? Because this castle that does not belong to you, belong to him. Therefore, you cannot claim eternally, forever, that it is my property. No way. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. And that also explains why Allah gave the Quran, the law on Parain. When a person died, the property are to be divided accordingly to the shares as stated in the Quran. Why Allah interfere in somebody's property? Because that property belongs to Allah. And therefore, if the brother got 2 shares under Parain and the sister got 1 share, and the beautiful stepmother get 1/8. Now, you see, the son got bigger share. And you see that the stepmother only get 1/8, and the daughter only got 1 share. Then you may ask, why like that? Because it's not your property. The property belongs to Allah. He give you 1/8. You should be thankful. He may not want to give you, because the property belongs to him. He give you 1 share, being a daughter. You must be thankful. The property belongs to him, not to your father or yourself. Right? He gave to the son 2 shares. The son must receive this with responsibility. Because, and all this is my advice to people. This is your share Allah given to you. You want to accept or not, it's up to you. And nobody can force you to give up your share, because this share is granted by Allah. So they may not like you because you're a stepson, right? And the stepmother have 3 more children, all ladies. And you are the only stepson with the first spouse that passed away. And you don't longer stay with them, you stay as well, you're adult. And they are in the family, stepmother, your father, and 3 daughters. And when comes sharing of the wealth when your father died, you have greater shares. And if they are not happy about, in the first place, the property does not belong to you. Allah given you 1/8 and 1 share, you should be thankful. He may not want to give you. And therefore, there are others who won't get it, that uncles, aunties will not get it because you are alive. So these are things, all treasures belong to Allah. That's why the Malay say, you die, you won't bring your wealth with you. Even the cloth that you carry with you, the white cloth, will in time torn and tattered and disappear. You don't bring anything, all belong to Allah. That's why in the Quran Allah says, you will leave everything behind that we have given you when you live in this world. When you die, you leave everything. Not only the visible, the invisible gift from Allah will taken away, your voice, your eyesight, your hearing, everything taken away. That is buried, is just a torn and tattered shirt, unworthy even to pay respect to, like many others, making it a shrine or a body of a person, which should not be. It's just a torn and tattered shirt or costume. Well, you may respect the Prophet because Allah had promised in the hadith that their body will not be decayed, and will not decay. And Rasulullah, every time we give salam to him, Allah gave back his life. No? And he's alive. And his body is not decayed. That exception. But again, everything belongs to Allah. So you must know, you must have this knowledge so that you will not be astray. Okay? So we go again. Do you not know that the kingdom of the heaven and the earth belong only to Allah? Of course. But to people who don't have this knowledge, it's difficult to understand. They sometimes thinking about, well, we are the water, heat, sand, there are four elements of earth, right? But what about the soul? Talk about the soul. All this belong to Allah. I remember one Jama'ah, I think Noria, explained to a person at Palapila in a text, he said, remember this, except for Allah, all the rest are manifestation, creations, manifestation, including space and time. Everything else are just creation, including the soul, life. And if they are creation, whether they are visible or not, they belong to Allah absolutely, only to Him. That's why He is infinite, essence, infinite. He shares His ownership with no one. And that's why everything happened, He asked, commanded us to say, from me they come from, and to me they will return. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. To Allah belong the heritage of the heaven and earth. And this again, when you die, you leave your property behind. This property is heritage. This property belongs to Allah, not to you, not to anyone else, to Allah. And He has laid down the rule how to distribute it, and that is the faraid. And of course, now we have the nuzriya, where a person vow that he want to give, he vow that this property belongs to so and so 3 days before I die. He vowed, Nazar, vowed, Nazar. And according to the Sunnah, this is binding. Somebody told the Prophet, so and so had said that if he's alive, he's going to do pilgrimage. Must I do it for him? Since he died, yes, Prophet. Okay. And somebody has said something, vow something. You have to fulfill. That is Sunnah, obligatory. So, because this belongs to the Allah, and how Allah had spoken in the Quran, commanded those who did not follow the rules that I laid down, they are unbelievers. That is very strong. Okay. You cannot make up any law to take away shares that are recognized in the Islamic law or Sharia belong to that other person. You cannot take them away. Because the heritage of the heaven and the earth belong to Allah. Everything else. If you see it belong to you, we put even the Rothschild, very famous family that control the bank, Rothschild. Give 1,000 years from now, none of Rothschild may be existing. None. And all their power, their wealth, be dissipated and go to other people. Even the house you built beautifully, the castle, whatnot, will go to someone else or be in ruin. Because this belongs to Allah, not belong to you. Okay. But that we saw the physical side of this. The intangible side, the one that can be seen, like your power, your status, your beautiful voice, your beautiful eyes, your wonderful hearing, your handsomeness, your beautiful, your beauty. All this belong to Allah, will return to Allah. You cannot pass it down. And I remember the song. You can't pass down whatever religious knowledge you have or understanding to even to your own children or the loved one. For this belong to Allah. It's not inherited. So not necessarily your father is an ulama, well known. The son will be also not necessarily that knowledge belong to Allah. Okay, therefore, our prophet was chastised by Allah when Allah said, you cannot lead people who you love to faith. I'm the one who did that. Very clear. Because you cannot cause your Islamic knowledge or status passed down to your children. No way. Belong to Allah. Even we can see Queen Elizabeth demise. Now you have Charles. He is also 70 plus, nearly 80. Should he also go and another person take place? Because the heritage belongs to Allah. Okay. And we say, oh, but it was go down to their own family, not necessarily. We have many countries that finally become republic, not owned by any king or queen. Singapore is a good example. Because the heritage belongs to Allah. So it doesn't mean that it will go down to your children, not necessarily. Allah will it to change, it will change. And the countries is under the head of state is a king or queen, suddenly change to become president. Yes. So because the heritage belong to Allah. So turn you east and west, turn, all belong to Allah. Turn it, whatever you turn, whether it's space, whether it's time, whether any masses you see, land, what, all belong to Allah. All. It doesn't mean east and west only, but it also, without saying, include the south and the north. Everything belongs to Allah. Okay? And Allah had no beginning, no end. True. True. If he has an end, he may die before us. Right? Huh? If he has an end, he may die before us, and then suddenly all of us become God. No. Yeah. But how is this possible? That I mean, if you're ordinary man, you say, yeah, God can die, then we can take over. No. Everything comes from him. Even life also comes from. So, you know, we will go back to him. He has no frontier. He has no limitation. It's infinite. Okay? We are just a small, you know, lesser than a grain of sand, lesser than an atom. We have an end. If you look to the ocean, it is so vast. And then suddenly there is an iceberg. Of course, when the iceberg melts back to the ocean, when the water frozen, water of the ocean, it becomes the iceberg. So the iceberg has beginning and end. But the ocean remains the same. Similarly, Allah is infinite. We are just His manifestation. And the manifestation comes from Him. Therefore, all manifestations belong to Him. And therefore, He gives an end and beginning to all manifestation. Okay. We look at the famous, the greatest Roman Empire, gone. And now, nothing at all. Nobody even marvel at this. They are gone. There's past relics, already ancient. One time the Greek was so powerful, gone. Right. One time the German was very strong, powerful, gone. No more powerful as before. When the time comes, it ends. Because apart from Allah, nothing is eternal. Only Allah. So Allah has no beginning, no end. If He has end, as I say, He may die before us, then all of us become God. No way. You cannot be, suddenly the ocean disappear and the iceberg left. Cannot be. The existence of the iceberg depend on the ocean and the water of the ocean for their existence. Similarly, as our existence depend on the subtle self. So when everything annihilated, that remain the subtle self back to the greater self, and there is it gone. Okay. All the manifestation gone. So Allah does not have end, does not have beginning. Because if He has a beginning, we may be His older brother, because we were born first. we were there first. Okay? Because He has a beginning. So His beginning maybe after us. So he become our junior brother, we become the eldest brother. Cannot be. He got no beginning, no end. We go further. For you who have attained to faith, surrender. You know, it is difficult if you don't have this knowledge, especially the knowledge of the subtle self, to really understand the concept of surrender. Surrender yourself wholly unto God. You know, to go this in greater detail, I just briefly explain to you. You know, people will say, work hard, study, you pass your exam. That is not surrender. You say, oh, you must do this so that you be holy. That is not surrender. Oh, you must make a lot of worship, make a lot of things for Allah. That is not surrender. Because you still exist. Okay? Surrender means to surrender your existence. Surrender your existence. Your existence, you surrender. That's it. Okay? But once you surrender your existence to Him, that is the meaning of surrender. Once you surrender your existence to Him, keep your bloody mouth shut. You don't exist. Keep quiet. Mind your business. Don't interfere in God. Oh God, go and whack the Israeli. What are you to give instruction? You never exist. You are a ghost. So when you say surrender, you must give up your existence. Oh, I must do a lot of worship. I must go up. That also not surrender. No. How to overcome sin? Do a lot of Quran reading. That also not surrender. Hey, if I give you some pointer here, don't be shocked. You know, most of us Muslims, only those who have knowledge, have never perfected the surrender. I mean, you look at this. Hey, the non-believers, their surrender is much better than us. The non-believer. Allah said, you be non-believer, and they become non-believer until the end. Allah said, eat pig, they eat pig. See the surrender. They never question, why should I eat pig? You know? They never question, why am I unbeliever? They believe unbeliever until they die. They will eat pigs. The criminal would do the crimes. Surrender. And then they were caught, sentenced to hang. They will ask us, I don't know why I do it. After I've done, then I regret it. But they have done it according to Allah's wishes. Because, look, you have the knowledge. It's not the manifestation that do it. It's the subtle self. Oh, Muhammad, is not you who kill. It's I. So surrender means surrender yourself and then follow Pak Padre and advice. Have ear, listen, have eyes, see, mouth, shut up. Clap your hand, pretend you don't. And that's what Rasulullah was told, to shut his mouth. Don't you be ignorant, jahil. If I want to make the whole world to be Muslim believers, I could do so. He doesn't want it. And I must tell you, you see the analogy I gave you earlier? The rich man with his 5 sons, very rich, and 1 son, very poor. To whom you sympathize? Analogy that used to the believers, unbelievers. These believers are given everything, so they become worship only God, Allah, the only one. Because the inspiration comes from Allah. And this one, Allah given the inspiration of doing evil. Pray to the stone, pray to this, pray to that. No knowledge of Allah. Eat haram food, eat haram. Allah forced them to eat. You think they got power to say, I don't want? They don't exist. But they comply with all that 100% until they die. I ask my Chinese friend, who give you the food to eat? They say, Allah. Allah give you. Even the Pope, yes. Who give? They comply more strictly than us. We must endeavor to be pious. We must endeavor to succeed in life. We must endeavor to be clean. Endeavor. But the non-believers, they don't endeavor, they become crook all the time, criminal all the time, unbelievers all the time. They are more surrendered than us. Think carefully, guys. But will Allah punish them? That's another question. Because there's verse called life in this world is amusement and play. The village hereafter is paradise are for those who understand or for those who comply with the law of course. He never say the believers or unbelievers, say those who comply. You see, we are always being taught, hey, you must not commit sin. You must read the Quran. You must do this, do that, so your iman will be strong. You will not be waylaid by the Satan. That means, you're not surrendering, you're still fighting. But look at what Satan say. I can only lead those astray, those that you have allocated to me. Allocated to me. He knows. That's why not the whole world will drink liquor. Not the whole world will gamble. Not the whole world will commit adultery. Only those that Allah have given. And those that Allah have given had to do it, no choice. Right? That's why you see the surrender by Prophet Adam. Right? Well, I was created, I just eat it. It's only written 40 years before I was created. I eat it. Right? So, you look in that analogy. Are we surrender better than the non-believers? Okay? We see this in greater details. Now, if you're going to blame the unbelievers, they don't come from the subtle self. They do things on their own. They are the powerhouse. No. We go that in greater detail. We go to the working of the subtle self. So surrender here means you surrender your existence. Like you see, for me and some of you, like our companion Ibrahim Arif, but they can put, so Muhammad no, and we can put then also because ours are white hair, his no hair. But what do? We accept this. Yeah, accept it. Okay? But when you start to die, then there's no surrendering. Or you put wig, planted wig, planted false hair. That is not surrendering. Right? Chinese give them pork, they whack. Give them beer, they whack. It's written. They can say like Adam. It's only written. I drink. So be careful when you talk about surrender. Are the believers surrender? They're given all the good things in life. Being believers, got the Quran, got the Sharia, believing in one God, got the pillars of faith, got the principle of Islam, and a lot of things that benefit. Okay? The other side don't have anything. Allah didn't give them anything. Okay? Who surrendered? Much better. Those who don't have anything, and there's those who have all the luxury. So think carefully. That's why Rasulullah was told, do not interfere in my work. If I want the whole world to be believers, I can do so. See, right. You ask the non-believer, hey, why you eat pork? You shouldn't eat pork. No, our religion, Islam says, hey, look, man, right, that what your religion say lah. My belief, I can eat pork. So I eat pork. Okay. So, but if you ask again, This book come from where? He will say, Tuan Allah gave. Yes, I heard them say, Tuan Allah gave also. So what are you going to say? Of course, from us, we know this also come from him. The liquor come from him. The drug come from him. So the drug addict, narcoba, also from him. And those drug addicts are manifestation. In time, Allah will give us the remedy to overcome all this before we go up to the outer space to bring back the Satan to whole. So, I hope I open up your mind by the bit so that you can accept the unbelievers as they had, surrender. They surrender. Okay? So we'll see that later in greater. So surrender means surrender yourself wholly to Allah, and therefore you will not follow the satanic footsteps. Okay. Okay, even we follow once surrender, and this is another point I want to raise. Once you surrender wholeheartedly, I know one Jama'ah complained to me several times, Ustadz, I'm besieged by a woman who trying to have fun with me. I say, what should I do? I say, keep quiet and surrender to him. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. You can't do anything. He laugh. He say, what kind of advice? I say, what can you do? You remember Adam say, this has been written 40 years before him. When he couldn't, already there. What I'm saying, if you want to do a lot of worship and you can't, why my friend can go that extent? Why I can't? I can only fast Monday and Thursday. And another one says, I can't fast even when I started. But that guy, 5 days, 6 days a week. Hey, surrender, man. You can't fast. Okay, God, Allah, I surrender. I accept. I can't fast. So be it. I leave it to you. Okay. Because if not written, you can't fast. Right. It's written, then you can fast. But when Allah written it, because He has His own program, hikmah. If He written that you cannot fast, He has His own program. He doesn't want you to go up to be holy. He has His reason. And Jesus said, He said this in the Gospel of Barnabas, if everybody do not commit sin, Allah will create a part of mankind who will commit sin all the time. Why? Because then He will be known to be merciful and forgiving. All is part of His game plan. But you surrender your existence. And that is Imam Ghazali said. Surrender your existence. You don't exist. And that's what it means, surrender. Not surrender your wealth, surrender. Surrender your existence. And that was Sufi. And therefore, when you surrender your existence, you don't quarrel with Allah, you don't exist. And you won't follow the footsteps of Satan. Okay? How did Satan manage to get Eve and Adam out of Garden of Eden? Because Satan whispered to Eve that God did not want you to take the forbidden fruit, because He does not want you to live eternally. Now he got persuaded and eat the forbidden fruit, and later Adam was persuaded by Eve to eat also. Okay? So there was no surrender. If there was a surrender, it won't happen. So you don't exist. And Satan also got fed up. How come I attack him also nothing done? Because he knows he doesn't exist. So he not quarrel with Allah. He will not say, why the Palestine got hit so much? Terrible. Why Allah not doing it? Why? And that what Jesus say, why or wherefore or why is the door to hell. Okay. Surrender yourself. not your money, not when you surrender yourself, including whatever you own. Surrender means what will be, will be. You Sarah, Sarah. Okay, live accordingly, Rasulullah said. Live accordingly. Okay. What happened will happen. But I must tell you, sometimes the test is so great, gone through maybe 2 or 3 times. I give you an example. It's really like Abraham when he want to sacrifice his son. He must be committed to do it without any double thought or suspicious or what, regret. That is the way. I give you an example. You have no money. And your son has to take the exam. You need to pay. You don't have. So you always go up NST. Still no money come. The next day is the last day to make payment. Many people at that stage falter. No? Call friend, hey, can you lend some money? Call brother, hey, can you lend some? Even some goes to Thailand. But if you are very strong in your faith, so be it. Allah did not give money, so my son will not take the exam. First I go. And what come, what may, I will accept it. And I'll explain to my son, I don't have money to give you. I don't have. So that then you take that effect, take that result that your son not taking the exam will be not in the university because first year he didn't take the exam, he got whatever. You take that. Or something else, even you have to come across to a situation. If you didn't do it, you suffer great loss. But to do it, that means you have to beg, borrow, or steal. But you do not want. You hang on to Allah. What will be, will be. That's it. Now that reminds me of our Jama'ah. The doctor diagnosed that after operation of cancer, there's still some remaining cancer notes, what was particles, and this is dangerous. They want to do another operation, and they come to see me, whole family, ask my advice. But this Jama had made a decision, did not want to have another operation, cancer, except what will be, will be. So talk to me. I say, if you make that decision, you have to stand by it and never blame Allah. If death comes, your family also cannot blame Allah. That means steadfast, believe in Him. You go through it and take what come may. Right? That's the greatest test. It is cancer thing, you know. So they decided not to take the test, the operation. And they NST to Allah. After 1 month plus, they went back to doctor to check. Clear, no? No more particle, nothing, clear. But they took the risk. If not clear, the Jama'ah gone. Clear. But you see, at one instant you are not sure. But if once you are committed, you have to take that stand. Like Nabi Ibrahim, when he was thrown to the fire, he didn't know the fire would be cool. No. But he was committed. And he goes to the fire. He went to the fire, and the fire cooled. You cannot back off. You have to stand firm. Like Mashita lost her life and the children, and she stood tall, and the grave very nice to smell, perfumed. So this is the thing. When you take a stand for Allah, you have to take a stand. You cannot back off. What will be the result? And please believe that result is the best for you, because He's most wise. So that is the surrender. You totally don't exist 100%. You surrender. What will be, will be. Okay? That will cause you to lose your life like Mashita. Does not matter. I stand firm with Allah. It may cause you to lose your wealth, like and health, like Ayub. I still stand tall to Allah. Never mind, I suffered, but I will not back off from my commitment to Allah. I stand firm. That's it. It's tough. It's tough. I've gone through a few times. Very tough. The result, you must be prepared to accept, and you must not grumble. Say, you have to say, you must not grumble. Even your body is being cut to pieces. Cannot grumble. Like Ibrahim was put into the great fire. No grumble. Accept what will be, will be. That is the greatest test. You go through it, not 99% then back off. If 99% you back off, then you are not committed. You're back to square one. But 100%, 101%, what will be, will be. A strong faith in life. Okay? So you are bitten by a poisonous snake. And people say, go treatment, you do not want, you put faith in Allah. You cannot back up last minute, she swallowed, oh, bring me to hospital, cannot. You believe that Allah will cure you. That stood fast on it, even to the loss of your life. You accept that. Because that is your decision. You believe in Allah, so that you will stand tall before Allah in the year after. When you say to Allah, when I was bitten by a snake, I stood tall and believed that you can cure all illness. I stand tall and believe in that. I never falter, even I lost my life. Like Mashita, like the wife of Pharaoh, Asha. She was also condemned to death by Pharaoh because of belief in Allah. And that is tough, really tough. It can be a test on your economic situation, test on your religion, test on so many things. Really tough. Okay? But you have to surrender. Okay? That means you don't exist. We look here again. It is unto Him that whatever is in the heaven and earth surrender itself. Everything surrender to Him. By hook or by crook, you have to surrender. But that differentiate the true. That's why Allah called Abraham my companion, Halilullah, my companion, companion of Allah, Halilullah, Sahabat Allah. Why? Because he committed to be thrown in fire. So be it. I believe in Allah. To sacrifice his son. So be it. I believe it. And with that great belief, even when the devil want to frighten him, he does not. He's not worried. He took stone and threw at them, and they ran away. The great faith in Allah. That when you pass that obstacle, then you can see a different feeling, a different frontier, a different understanding, a different grasp of religion, one that work up there. That you never back off to the end, even to the loss of your life, like Mashita. So that is surrender. And so the Prophet said, I surrender. I surrender. And therefore, when he met the Quraysh, 1,000 of them, and he and his followers, 300, he never back off. He go in and fight. He went in and fight. He did not back off. Right? And even he had said, the Prophet had said, if sun, put the sun on my right hand and the moon on my left hand, ask me to stop my da'wah, I will not do so. You're committed. Remember, my mother came to see me, crying. Don't you proceed with this? You are not Ustadz, you are a lawyer. No, why you will be put into jail? What I told my mother, I cannot back off. I've given my promise to Rasulullah. I'll do it. Okay? And my mother was crying. You cannot back off. So be it. And many other situations when Sabahan priest, Christian priest, challenged me to stop smoking. If I say fasting strengthen the iman, stop smoking. Your chain smoking polluted the room we are living. We are living in the same room. And I stopped until today. Okay, of course, got nightmare. Every time got nightmare of smoking. It's really, and then the weight put on because I stopped. The taste bud become better. But I accepted the challenge. And later on, I met him in London when I studied. He said, you really stop? Yes. So that I will not stand ashamed before Allah. When a Christian challenge you, you cannot accept that. You must surrender. Okay? And what Rasulullah said, I surrender, and those who follow me will surrender. Now, when we say those who follow me, what we say, ulama warisul anbiya, the learned are the followers, are the replacement of the prophets. The learned. Now, what you say, the learned? Who are the learned? The learned in Sharia, they among themselves, they fight. The Salafi cannot accept the Sunni cannot accept the Salafi, the Shia cannot accept the Sunni, and the Sunni cannot accept the Sharia. Among them, a lot of khilafiyah, a lot of problems. The ulama warisul anbiya, the learned, are those who carry the banner of the prophet, 124 prophets, and that is awaluddin ma'rifatullah. The first thing in religion is to know God. These are the people who have understood this concept very well and surrender without much ado and keep to themselves. Like the Gua Kafi, either you stay in the cave, don't come out, mix around with society, or be like our Khidir, walk around the world, nobody knows him. But if you are given a task to teach, so be it. You have the knowledge, all of you are to pass this knowledge. Because we have to get the Ummah ready to help Yamas Indonesia, to get the Ummah ready for the future of the Mahdi to come. Then we are ready. So those who surrender means surrender your existence. Begin with piety, yes. Piety, what? You do a lot of ibadah, worship, night time, I will wake up and do worship. Daytime you fast, read the Quran, all holy thing. But end with submission. That's it, end with submission. Surrender to His will and total reliance. You come to that stage, you give up what will you will hold on to what will be. Okay? So you don't know what is in the future for you. You can be holy now. The next day you don't know. But you surrender. That's why the Prophet said that nobody enter to paradise with your good deed. but what Allah accepts you. You go to paradise, will Allah accept you? Rida accepts. They say, what? How Allah accepts? Allah said, you accept me, I accept you, and enter into my group of my people, and enter into paradise. When you must surrender. Of course, this explanation of surrender will be in greater detail when it can see the working of the subtle self. We're just knowing the subtle self now. Okay? So begin with piety, a lot of religious work, a lot of this thing. But at the end, surrender. What will be, will be. Okay? So if one day, one of you being accepted by Allah and was instructed to be a vagabond, beggars, walk around the city and not cycling, but carry the bicycle on your shoulder. Spider. People say this must be mad, the guy. He got a bicycle and he just carry and walk. Huh? Oh, but that you are told. If you surrender, you have to do it. And Allah got a reason for that. Because with you holding the bicycle or spider, walk around the village or the town, people saw you, but you forgot. The satanic force also saw you. Hey, the guy with the bicycle come, run away, run away. This guy, is Allah's man, run away. But you didn't know. You only saw him with a bicycle, you think he's man. But Allah got reason for him to walk around with bicycle, because that is the sign for all those satanic forces to run away, not to cause accident here and there in the town, which they tried to do so, but have this person with bicycle walk around, they run away. They have a reason, but you have to accept that. I have also to accept, to teach, although I always thought I'm never qualified. I'm not from a ulama family. I'm not a Hafiz. I'm just an ordinary kampung boy, very naughty, but I accept. There's no choice, no two ways about it. Surrender. What will be, will be. Okay, we go on. And also the companion surrender. Okay. Companion, the four companions, beautiful person, surrender. Abu Bakr, all his wealth. Umar with all his strength of that. And then Uthman with all his gentleness. Ali with all his great superiority, strength and all that. And they committed to Allah. Committed wholeheartedly to Allah. They stand steadfast. Even Islam was minor at the time. They stood fast and never back off. Okay. That's it. When the test comes, you have to be steady. And even tears fall, what can you do? Okay. But if you are holding to Allah, if you don't want, then okay, no big deal, right? In last minute, you can change your mind and go to your rich brother. Hey, brother, give me some money. Sure, he give you. He's your brother. Hey, no problem. But the choice, I think, is yours. But actually, that also being written, you have to do it. So Islam is absolute submission to Allah. You don't exist. You lay your life to Him and say, Allah, you are the greatest planner. I trust you to plan my life. And I accept your plan is the best of all plans. And hold on to it, no matter rain or shine. Hold on to it, no matter tears may fall. Hold on to it, so you will not come back to Allah in the year after. And Allah said to you, why you talk something, you do something. That is what you talk and you do it and you stand tall before Allah. What I said, and I stayed fast to it. even because of immense pain, immense loss of wealth, health, and so on, I stand fast or steadfast in believing that you are never waver. So I say, do men think that they will be left alone, or that we will believe and that they will not be tested? That's it. When the test comes, you have to stand fast, or stand fast, even detrimental to you, even it's no good for you. You stand fast. Okay? Even to the loss of life, you stand. And you never regret. Whether Allah will help you or not is a second matter. But you believe in Him, you hold on to it. Okay. I think I will stop here. I see Bayu already coming on. Yeah? It's already 10:45. Right? I stop, you will continue. Because this topic is very deep. You see, this slide, 3 days. This is the second day to finish. Only 58 slides. Very long. We have to go in great details to make you aware of your situation. And, the different interpretations between the ordinary and the Sufis. Inshallah, we'll meet again. Thank you, everyone, for attending. Back to Bayu. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.